start streaming, rather. And we'll see if it works this time, the first time. Hey everybody, this is Grimcad, and we are back with some more D&D Wednesdays. And I need to come up with some sort of name for that, but I'm not very smart, so I probably can't do that. We are joined today by Adrian. Say hi, Adrian.
Hi.
Rick. Say hi, Rick.
Hey.
And Tadpole.
Hello.
Unfortunately, our other two members had some circumstances come up at the last minute, or a couple minutes before the last minute, and will not be joining us today. So that means this might be a tiny bit shorter, or significantly shorter, episode than what we normally have. But we are going to pick right up on it, just where we left off. And we just left off, well, you know what, let's do a little recap. Because unfortunately, it is 2 weeks since we were last here. A lot of things happened last time, I believe. We found out, or maybe this is the session before I'm thinking of, where you were accused of burning down the Potter's home. I don't remember if that was last week or 2 weeks ago or the session before that.
I think it was this last session.
Okay. Yeah, so then, man, a whole lot happened last session. You went to the city before you were going to check out where the quote-unquote dragon eggs, which we all know are not dragon eggs, are before. And there was a huge fire raging in the city. You went to investigate, or you attempted to go to investigate it, and you were pretty much arrested under suspicion of starting said fire. You were being accused by the 3 adventurers that you had seen inside the tavern the previous couple of days. You went to jail and you had some sort of altercations with the law. Things sort of were starting to look real dicey for a minute, but Tadpole and Janeon managed to convince Eckert to bring in the 3 people to check out the stories, and gave them the use of their magical device, which is a medallion of read thoughts. He read the thoughts of one of the people, and yeah, the guilt was pretty clearly written on his face. There was also some stacking of the deck on the part of Tadpole, as she bribed some Thieves members, or Thieves Guild members, to help corroborate your story, which worked out fairly well.
Allegedly.
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 Always right. Allegedly. Then you, after all that's done, the fire's out. A couple people are missing, presumed killed by these 3 adventurers. They are now in custody. We go to where the actual Kuthric, which is the name of the creatures, where their eggs had been found by the Potter. We found the Kuthric. Sort of a... I don't know if I'd say it was a nasty battle, but it had the potential to be a nasty battle ensued. We wound up defeating them. More showed up. We ran up valiantly running away. As we were running, we found this small, strange kobold decked out in full plate armor. Janeon decided he really wanted that plate armor, and so started a fight. It turns out that this was Iflopawu. He was killed. We cast some detect magic on his stuff, and he is, or at least his armor is, nuclear, red hot, rife with just magical power. We get him home to the rats. We have a night of drunken games where we tried to force open this armor as it had been sort of sealed, almost welded shut. Eventually, I believe Rick manages to pry it open using his brute dragon-born strength, and this sort of goo poured out of the armor, and the armor itself sort of vanished right from under you. After some cursory checks from before and during, we found that it was sort of tied to some sort of place, so presumably there is some sort of teleportation spell on it, but we don't know too much about it yet. So, after that, all the rats, most of the rats, come to think of it, have decided to come to the town to start ramping up their goals, which is basically to get resources for the city. And the rats happen to particularly specialize in getting human resources. There is sort of a war council that is impromptuly formed, as we now have evidence of the Kuthrik. And we make some plans for the defense of the city because, well, now you're pretty much the darlings in the eye of the city. So we are going to be picking up directly as this war council ends. Do you need me to do a refresher of what we decided to do, or do we all have it pretty firmly in their minds?
See, I know that we were going to go out on a scouting patrol, and there was something about poison.
And
We were
sheep.
going to poison some sheep.
Sure. I'll just
Right.
tick off my check marks.
Please do.
So the first thing, alas, was going to head to the city itself to scout it out as a potential for evacuating the city. That's something that Chol, the Ratfolk leader, had certainly been pushing. We have to make everyone aware of what's going on, the farmers especially, because they're the ones out there, and then the rest of the city. We've got our militia that we need to get mobilized. We need to get guardsmen and militia out patrolling to see where these things are. Anybody who happens to be free, is going to start working on making projectiles, arrows, bows, things of that nature. We've decided that we're going to stay close to the wall for the most part. The other scouting parties, as it were. I mean, you guys can do whatever you want to. So they can come to the city quickly should things start to go pear-shaped. We have an idea of poisoning the sheep and driving them to the north so that the Kuthrik, who we know are pretty ravenous eaters, will hopefully get the sheep, eat the sheep, ingest the poison, and that'll do a little something towards killing them. We have to go to the library and to the monastery because there are books that Alas knows that are relating to the Kuthrik and how they were stopped the last time they started swarming. And that we decided that we, as the party, would spend most of our efforts out scouting to get, if not closer to exact numbers, but certainly so you can see things for yourselves. Because, frankly, the militia and guards folk, maybe not the best scouts in the world.
The wonderful. I know what you're talking about.
Well, you know, they try twice as hard. Excuse me. All right, so that is exactly where we're picking up. We just had this sort of war council, and it's just sort of dying down. People know what they're going to be more or less doing, but nothing's really been, like, assigned. And that's my question for you guys now. Are you going to, like, assign people to be in charge of things? At this point, people are pretty receptive of you. So if you say, hey, Jan, I need you to take care of this, he'll try to take care of this. Or you could try to leave it more in-house with their own leadership and have them divvy out tasks and whatnot on their own. People have their... Obviously, Eckert, the captain of the guards, he's dealing with the guards and presumably the militia. But past that, things are a little up in the air.
Well, I think we should probably let it happen more organically as far as, or maybe even have Eckhart in charge, because if we're going to be out and about scouting away from the city, somebody inside the city should be able to make calls and changes to plans on the fly as need be.
Yeah, for now at least.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds pretty good. So, again, excuse me. So we're pretty much going to leave things up to Eckhart. He knows the people. He knows what they can do.
Yeah.
Let him get it sorted. All right.
Besides, I don't want to role play all that.
Understood. So as you guys are leaving, presumably leaving to go do whatever, Chol comes up to you. So I'm not sure if I need to point this out. And of course he's very hushed. We're walking down the streets at night. This is our opportunity to send things a little south for the city. We've made some good progress, and I'm not sure if you were planning on it. We have the rats out in the fields already, taking care of those food sources. You've somehow managed to convince them to poison their sheep and drive them north, which I simply have to applaud you for. It's who would have thought they would do that on their own? So, without much time at all, this city will be starving. But the things that we would like you to do is to make things seem a lot worse. Of course, we don't necessarily want the town in danger itself, and we should be protecting the resources inside it, but it wouldn't hurt them at all if things seem worse than they are, if patrols go missing, things of that nature. Do we understand each other?
Sure.
Huh?
Good. And he sort of gives you a sideways look, Tadpole. You might want to fill her in.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd probably be helpful. I think that'd be very helpful.
Okay, Rick, fill her in and do it.
Does Chol leave at this point?
Chol leaves. If you have questions for him, you can ask him, but he's going to leave.
No. So as soon as Chol leaves, what the hell is he talking about?
Rick's
I
your
thought
job
you guys
now.
were just a bunch of entertainers.
What? No, that's the,
Well, we do a lot of things.
Other things. Great. I've thrown my hat in with a bunch of domestic terrorists. Great.
I mean, I wouldn't say domestic. We're away from around
Domestic.
Like that's the thing. It's the technicality that's important.
They don't take issue with the terrorist part, just the domestic part.
Right.
Yeah.
We're actually quite broad with our terrorists.
Yes, thank you. Let's see, where to start? I think probably the easiest way is to describe the city and stuff. They weren't making stuff up when they said there's a large, most, I want to say stone, but I'm not sure what realistically the base out of. It's a large stone city. It's not a city more so as something that's alive and has a city on its back. I'm sure some weird people somewhere live on Titans and all that jazz. Think of it as a moving mountain kind of thing. And if you travel between planes like we do, 2 or 3 planes ago we had a plane that was literally just presumably a sky dimension. We were free falling the entire time there. Not much resources to take in when you have new line imports more than exports, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Well, like from a trade standpoint, we have to take resources into the city and stuff like that. And considering each shift is akin to a small natural disaster inside the city due to the violent earthquakes, just for the sake of populace, resources, trading, that generally sometimes means we have to invite immigrants in and absorb them into the community, so to speak. It's a really diverse melting pot. There's kobolds, goblins, the humanoid race is all kind of a common enough between the planes. And there's some weird races you'll see if you go there, like the Zistchill, and I guess the Rat Folk if you want to be technical. But the short version is we're merchants of a type. Other people specialize in, lumber, landscaping, stuff like that. The Rat House just specializes in bringing new people into the city to help preserve the population diversity. In case if they're lucky enough to run up near a city, they try to make the city seem like a wonderful place to move. Usually they just try to invite a few, maybe a dozen people in to join the city, people of certain quality, but I guess they're thinking with this chair we can get a large populist movement coming in.
Got it. Okay. So instead of just having lots of babies, they import their people.
That's the short version. It's kind of issue with, if you have a natural disaster every 30 days, people tend to die.
Well, then why do you stay in the city if it's that dangerous?
Realistically, apart from if you're not near the buildings, you're fine. There's shelters and stuff like that. Unlike out here, we have farmers and stuff. We have a whole druid's grove providing food for the city, and the other magic users provide water. So you got shelter taken care of. You got free food, free water. You don't need to worry about going hungry or anything like that stuff. It's not that bad. You don't have to worry about being attacked or sieged by warring nations if it changes every 30 days. There's the politics inside of the city that there is anywhere else, but apart from a bad shift, maybe there's not really that much tragedy there besides what people make for themselves. The primary import would be people, entertainment, and new things to, I guess, live and get by. Plays and stuff are very popular.
Well, I think making babies is much more entertaining and a better way of repopulating. But hey, what do I know? What do I know, right? I'm just an 8-year-old tadpole.
Yeah. It's also kind of with the fact that everyone's a lazy piece of shit and we need to import workers, so to speak.
Do we get like a commission or something?
Yeah, you get a commission, you'll have all this, free room and board, the food and stuff will be provided to you. You don't have to worry about farming or any of that kind of stuff, unless you decide to join the druids and their work. Any casters that can be, like wizards, stuff like that, are employed by the state, while civil servants, more or less.
Okay. Well,
And then you have people like us who go out and get resources and stuff, try to make their fortune and all that. And if you think, adventurers raiding stuff now and then and doing all that stuff here, just imagine every 30 days you got a fresh slate.
Well, it definitely sounds interesting. Sounds good to me. I'm all for it.
Sometimes you get places like Rosucius, she just came to the city last shift or so. Their plane had a big magical war and it fucked the entire planet up to a endless desert.
Well, I don't care about these people here anyway, so let's bring them all in. I'm good.
Anything to add, Rick, to the immigration speech?
No, not that I can think of. But I think we've got it all.
All right. Just like sheep to the slaughter. Let's do this.
Huh. All right, so you've gotten the most of the important parts talk about what's going on. So what are we going to do next? We've just had this conversation. It's pretty late in the evening. It is the night of the 9th night here. Is there anything that we would like to try to do here this night? Or are we just going to bed?
Well, I would like to propose. How well do you guys see in the dark?
I proceed to light my lantern.
I've got some good vision in the dark, but I've only got about 60 meters, 60 feet of visibility.
Well, that's the way most of us that can see in the dark see.
Yeah, Janeon sees 60, and Guts, I do not believe has dark vision.
I can check that real quick. Hold on.
I am. Oh, she does have 60-foot dark vision.
I am not opposed to going out at night. The whole sunlight thing kind of hurts my delicate complexion. Hurts the eyes, hurts the complexion. So I would not mind doing our scouting at night, but
I mean, I'm all for it if it helps her out, but I kind of can't see that well.
You can hold the torch.
I'll be the bait. Yeah, Guts has dark vision.
Yeah.
And I know that actually my owl has 120-foot dark vision. It's not like I can't see, I just have to have an owl on my head to see.
Alright, so the plan right now is to go out scouting, correct, at night.
Yeah.
We are shifting over.
Are we on mounts? I can't remember.
You would have had the mounts. Right now, nobody's certainly saying, hey, give us back our horses. So...
Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's not an oval. We would have scouted fairly easily these places that are done in yellow. Whether it has been done before by the party or just recently as we encountered the Kuthrik on the last time. So it's more or less things fairly close to the city. But in a straight line. Obviously, this X right here is where we encountered them the last time. And honestly, that should be probably a teeny bit closer.
Just for the sake of it, we'll be evacuating this way?
Likely, yes.
So I think we should definitely focus on here if we can. Definitely near the city, but definitely cover the escape route too.
So you'd like to do more scouting along the roads?
Maybe in this area.
Are there people on the road? Like traveling back and forth between the two camps?
There would be some. It's not a super busy city. Most of the people from your camp are now in the process of migrating to the city in order to bunker down, because, you know, it is pretty dangerous out there. So chances are you've been on the roads recently. I mean...
Yeah, so I don't mind scouting that area, but let's not do it by the road since there are people on the road already.
Yeah, I'm saying, like,
So-
over in the woods here, just so we don't get
Yeah,
ambushed.
yeah, I agree.
It is to scale. There's not a ton of woods. This is mostly like grasslandy, hilly area, but even still. So, do we want to move this circle up a little bit, or leave it where it is?
Yeah, center it like more like in this area.
Okay. Oh,
So not quite.
I can't control the circle.
Yeah, I can't click it. I hate drawing sometime. There.
Oh.
Like that. That one.
Sure.
All right, so going straight out, resting our mounts, getting them some food or whatever. They just rode hard. You're not entirely sure whether they were taken care of at the inn. Tadpole, you'd know that it can be a little spotty sometimes. Some of the people are a little lazy there at the inn. But you managed... Go ahead.
They deserve to be made slaves of the city. So
But we decide to head out, and we are heading towards this circle. Presumably, we follow the road pretty much straight down, and then we head to the north. I just grabbed the city and the road and shifted it over.
shifting city.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh god, it's teleporting now too. What's happening?
So things are sort of interesting. Word is starting to get out. You're moving faster than most of the word that's going out, even at a, slight trot, or however as you're going down. You can see that the rats themselves are starting to work on the fields as well. Doesn't exactly look like they're eating it. It looks like they're more rendering it inedible. And
Can I pick up a handful of grain while we pass it?
You can.
How many seeds are in it?
How many seeds are in the grain?
Yeah.
It's like man.
Gave us a side quest to get seeds for money. I'm getting seeds, man.
I gotcha. You could go ham if you want to stop and collect it. It's, like I mentioned before, fairly close to harvest. I mean, you could fill sacks with it, probably.
Anyone got any sacks?
As a matter of fact, in
Yep.
my bag of holding, I happen to have 5 sacks.
Beautiful. Yeah, we're getting, we have the druids like to get new seeds and stuff, so they're paying, 10 silver per seed. I think.
Holy moly.
No, what was that?
I'm rich.
Silver?
I mean, we're rich. That's what I
Which
meant.
was
Yeah.
it?
It was a
The
lot.
10?
I have it written down somewhere, but it's not on this paper directly in front of me.
It's somewhere between 3 and 10. It's a few gold for a bunch of seeds, though.
It was a good bit, yeah.
That's a good bit.
Yeah, I pull out my 5 sacks out of the bag of holding.
So, you can go, and you can take some time, and you can fill these sacks. Depends on how long it takes, how long you want it to take. You know, you could go through and you can start harvesting the fields and stripping the seeds from the, you know, chaff and all that. You just get the seeds, no stems or anything like that, even much denser. Or you could do sort of a rush job where you're just hacking things down and shoving them in stacks.
I mean, it's all pretty... According to this, there are 50 kernels in 1 head of wheat, and up to 17,000 in just 1 pound. Thanks to the Kansas Farm Bureau, apparently. So yeah, just fill up a sack. How many pounds could fit in the sack? Is there a generic sack item in the gear list?
Man, I'm gonna be honest, I am not figuring that out right now.
We just have to figure out per poundage. Yeah, there was a sack item actually. Weighs half a pound.
Well, I mean,
1 cubic foot / 30 pounds of gear. So we're going after 30 pounds, 1 cubic foot.
Sure, why not?
So 30. So we got 30 times 5, 150 pounds of grain. Apparently the 17 kernels per pound of grain. We got 150. Let's take our time. This could be a nice investment. I'm sure fresh meat and all this food laying around might make the Crusade pop up anyways, you know?
I will stay on the horse and do kind of a circle, patrolling circle while he's doing that.
So that is 2,550,000 kernels of wheat per total.
Sure.
Thank you for the investment, Grim.
Well, that's a problem for future Grim.
You underestimated the seeds per plant.
You take a couple of hours, and what was intending to be a patrol sort of turns
also, if
into...
we're taking that much time,
Sure, I mean, it's still, you know, takes quite some time.
This isn't concentration. I can cast a few of these to help out.
You're taking a couple of hours to do this.
Okay.
So what was intended to be a patrol is now a harvesting session. We go at it for a long time. We do things correctly. We separate the wheat from the chaff, as it were. Make sure we're doing well, and we fill up these 5 sacks worth of seeds. You're certainly spotted doing this, but nobody outright comes out to you and demands, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Procuring some supplies to draw the crew thick out if anyone looks at us. In fact, if anyone stares at us, I'm just saying we're gathering bait. I'm gonna tell them.
Sure. Well, yeah, I mean, people are certainly staring at you as they're in the middle of going to and fro and all that, and passing the things on, but it is nighttime. There's not like 1,000 people out.
Yeah, who's the fuck out
like
this late? No, it's in the middle of the night.
Well, I mean, there is word of an impending attack going on right now. So, you know, people are out, but it's not like hundreds of thousands of people, as I mentioned. Okay. It's getting towards light now.
Let's get out of here.
We've filled up our stacks. We've made it, I don't know, 50 feet out of the city before we stopped.
Yeah.
So what are we doing now?
Those in your bag to keep them safe. If anyone asks, we set up an elaborate trap in the forest with grain.
I mean, people saw you working up there in the field.
Grain, we're making a pile to draw them out because they eat anything, right?
No, they're pretty consummate meat eaters.
They don't know that.
We're making tofu. Well, I would assume we wouldn't have done it like right next to the road, but
no, you wouldn't have. And again, supposedly pretty consummate meat eaters. We know that they're ravenous. That's about it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go and do some patrol work. Let's head up.
The horses had a nice meal and rest. Let's go up north.
That's right.
Let's make us look like we're actually doing something.
Are we going back to where we had originally planned, or do we want to go further north? Or
I assume there's like this area off in bed.
okay,
There's only signs. I know we found the tunnels over here, you know.
right. There are signs of tunnels. I'm going to be making a mark on the line as soon as I get off this extra thin. Basically, when you're coming through, you're seeing something. Whoops. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was drawing through like this. And then from the north of the line, there's, it's a bit patchy. They're not necessarily neat when they make their tunnels, it seems. They do look like they're older. Things are drier there inside the tunnels. It's not like the fresh tunnels that you see in next to the river or anything like that.
Any going past to this mark here? Are they all north of this?
I don't see a mark. I don't see your ping.
You don't see that red line?
There it goes. No, it's pretty much where this line starts here.
Okay.
Well, then let's head this way. Because that's where the newer the encounter we had was over here, right?
Yes, right at this red X.
Then let's follow this tunnel here, and every now and then I'll hop down and climb into a tunnel and make sure how recent or how old, or if there's been any new sign of movement, upturned dirt, things like that.
Sure. Can you give me a perception check
No.
as you start to jump into the tunnels?
Okay, I guess I will. Now it's still so I am not at disadvantage since I'm in a tunnel. Right?
Correct.
All right.
This will definitely be the first time you're really paying attention to the tunnels. They're certainly bigger than the Kuthrik. Normally when an animal burrows, it burrows, its own body size. You've seen these things. You just fought them not long ago. These tunnels could probably fit 3 or 4 of them stacked on top of each other. So these are quite large tunnels. They're about 10 feet down on the ground. And the way it works is, you can see a mound. The mound's fairly obvious. It's a lot like the mound caused by a mole or something like that. I'm sure you've seen mole tunnels.
Yeah. They're in my garden outside right now.
Or walked on them. But very similar to that, it's not like a smooth board or machinery cutting through or anything like that. But it's a serviceable tunnel, and it seems to be holding up fairly well. You pretty much follow up, man, every time I click the button. And these tunnels do certainly seem to be leading, or at least this, we're going to call it the main tunnel. It's not necessarily main tunnel. It's no different than any other tunnel, but
southernmost tunnel.
Yes. It certainly seems to be leading up towards where you were. But then right about at this point, it junctures off. And presumably this juncture is from where the Kuthrik themselves actually came and attacked you. You wouldn't really see signs of them. There's no blood or anything like that. They don't shed anything. They're insects. They're covered in the scales. So there's not like a lot of physical signs in them. Obviously, there's tracks all throughout the thing. And the way it works is there are some that are fresher, but most of them are pretty old. What is fresh? Maybe 1 or 2, and fresh being a relative term. If you had to take a guess, there's a quote-unquote patrol that goes through every so often, but it's generally just a single entity of some sort.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
well, obviously, I'll pass this information on to the group.
Of course. I'm just gonna hoard it.
Does
for
it go
myself.
under? Does it go underneath the river,
It does.
or does
not.
it stop at the river?
It stops very shortly to where you were, and I'm assuming you're still following the main thing.
Yeah. Why don't we cross the river and see if we can see any tunnels on the other side of the river? That might help us
Yeah.
rule out a whole large section of area.
We can probably take the river down a bit too if we need to.
Excuse me.
Yes. So we're going to cross the river then, I guess, and see if there's any signs of tunnels on the other side of the river.
Okay. The river's a decent river, but it's not a dangerous river by any means. You can get over it, and you just get a little bit wet. You spend some time searching around this general area. And I'm going to mark it in. Ooh, not that color. This sort of... No, that's not the color I wanted. Area right here. And you cannot find any tunnels on the other side of the river.
Okay. Well, good.
Man, I cannot shift this damn thing over.
So no tunnels on that side that we can notice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's, I guess, keep searching until you tell us it's starting to the point that we need to rest.
Okay. So we're currently over here on this side of the river. Do we want to keep on looking for things on this side of the river? Do we want to hop back onto the other side of the river and try to map out where these things are?
We should actually probably do some more and actually start scouting the area we should scout. What do you
Yeah,
think?
so, yeah, I agree.
So that's back on this side of the river?
Yep.
Okay.
We've pretty much ruled out that we don't see any signs of them on the other side, correct? Or is it just that little circle that we scouted out?
At the moment, it's just this little circle. You haven't done a full thing on this side of the river.
We can check the edge of the river as we head back towards the city, maybe.
You'll have to excuse me one moment. My phone's ringing. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Bum, 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 bum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well he's gone. We're gonna start playing Cyberpunk 2020. Okay, everyone roll your new characters. I can't wait till April.
What's going on in April?
Cyberpunk 2077 comes out.
I assume that's a game?
Yeah, it's have you ever heard of the Witcher series?
Nope.
The Witcher's like the Polish Lord of the Rings kind of shit in terms of, like fame and like, stuff like the author that does that's an asshole. He sold the rights to make games to CD Projekt Red because he doesn't believe games will be worth money, and they made it into a successful international franchise that people were really fond of, and actually increased his book sales because people want to read all about it and stuff. It's a big RPG. Witcher 3 is probably one of the most expansive and well done RPGs in forever. It's a few hundred hours you could sneak into it.
Oh,
Really good.
they've blocked off my road to do construction.
Trapped with us now.
But no worries, because the construction should all be done by the end of July.
Nice. So we have a very long game ahead of us. Is what
It's
you're
a
saying.
long session.
Hunker down. We're going to be playing the rest of the day. You're not leaving the house. I hope you have enough coffee to last you for a month.
Ugh. Oh, grinds my gears. All right.
Now, when we followed this road here, did we see any signs of the tunnels going this direction? Like over here, we see them going this direction.
Not. You would have seen going north as well, but junctions heading to the north. But you would have not seen things going south, pretty much until we get to this point right here.
Okay,
So,
and that's just a small little break off where they came up.
Presumably. Yeah, it goes down a bit further south. It goes directly to the site.
Okay. But that's the furthest south tunnel we can see. Besides the one in our camp, more or less way over here.
Right.
Now, compared to the big road, how did these tunnels look old as well?
They do. And again, I do want to... This isn't exactly a main road or anything like that. The tunnels are pretty much all the same width. It just happens to be the one you followed and the southernmost road,
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Why don't we go north ways and see if they get fresher?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This one stops right here.
Yes, that stops right there. That is about as close to the river as it gets.
Okay. Well, we know they weren't here that long ago since the attack happened here. So, can I do like a nature trek and try to follow the most recent?
You can.
Can I help?
You sure can.
Yay!
I mean, everybody's standing around. Nobody has anything else to do. Yeah. So, as I mentioned before, on these tunnels, most of the tracks are very old. Granted, towards this area right here, there are fresher tracks. We know at least, 20 of them came towards us. But for the most part, and as we get to the area around here, tracks get fresher and fresher.
Now, question with the tracks, can you tell which direction something is going? Like with a human footprint, you can see where the toes are.
Not quite. These things have more, I'm going to say daggery.
Look at the picture. They have
Toes, as it were. Oh, I don't think
they're crabs, kind of
brought
thing.
it up. Here, we'll...
They'll have stabby stabs.
Yeah, okay. Stabby tabs, okay.
But you can tell there has been some recent activity. But the most recent activity was from something... Oh, dear. Large. And not just a little bit large, but something much larger. It wouldn't be a far-off bet to guess that this might be a third caste or something.
Mm-hmm.
But
Of what?
a third cased, a larger cased.
Oh, okay. I know what you mean.
Because at this point, I'm assuming you're going a bit more thoroughly into the tunnels. And, you know, the one uniting factor is that there is this fresher set of prints through this, through the tunnels that belongs to this larger cased whatever it is. It's not, well, I hate to tell you, it's not unheard of to think that this is something that regularly patrols the things. Its job is to keep intruders out. He's just doing a terrible job of it.
You know, what if we try to draw them to us instead of us chasing them? We can go into the mouth of a cave and start yelling and see what happens. I'm not saying that's a good idea. It's just an idea. Like this. And I start yelling and screaming.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Oh, I'm wounded. Oh, I'm bleeding everywhere. Oh, I'm a big, fat, lots of meaty animal. Ah!
All right. Well, give me one
Start pounding
moment
on the
that
wall.
one, please.
We're in the tunnels at the moment.
Oh, I'm going to be towards the open end of a tunnel. I'm not going to be inside the tunnel, per se.
Yeah, I'm going to
Not deep in the tunnel. Not deep in the
land
tunnel.
into the shadow real quick. Yeah, I'm in the shadow now. You can't see me.
I should say not.
Are you in the tunnel too? Because right now I'm envisioning only tadpoles in the tunnel.
As soon as I hear Tadpole yell, I just become one with the bush. Also, I cast Mage Armor.
All right. It's not long.
I might not be on the.
Well, what I will do is I will move everyone over to my prepared blank map. You can move your tokens on over. I will create my... Oh, that's not what I wanted. I will create my extra thick line, which represents my tunnel. We are right around here in the middle.
I am nowhere to be seen.
Okay, where's the opening to the tunnel?
Honestly, it's wherever you choose. You know, you're...
Okay. Because I do not want to be in the tunnel when fighting. I want to be close enough where I can quickly hop out of the tunnel.
Right. Which is what I presume. Like, you're not traveling inside the tunnel. You're traveling outside the tunnel. Every so often, you're breaking the tunnel in. You're peeking in what's going on.
Yeah. Good. However, I do want to try to, if I hear something coming, I want to make note of which direction it's coming from so we can follow it if we need to.
Okay. The direction it is coming from, and let me... I got too many overworld maps. It would be from the north. And whatever it is, it's, you know, loud. There's scraping involved on the tunnel. Whatever it is, it takes up the entirety of this tunnel.
Okay, well, I am getting out of that tunnel and saying, "Get on your horses!"
All right. Presumably everybody does. And then, a little ways off from where you were, the largest one you've seen yet pops out of the tunnel. It's a bit far away from where you actually were. It is not directly where you were making the noise. And it's big.
Great.
And it's pretty angry.
How far away is it?
It is
Short bow distance?
where it is. Oh yeah, we're in 5-foot increments. You know, you're on your horses right now.
Yeah.
It popped up. I do not want to enable fog of
Is it still dusk at least? Or am I going to be at disadvantage?
Ooh, you've been searching for a while. I'm afraid you're going to be at disadvantage at this point.
Okay, is the clear sunny skies?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So let us all roll for initiative.
I'd like to note I am begone.
You are what?
I am gone. I'm there's a horse. I'm on the side somehow. I'm stealth. And those crazy cowboy scenes. I don't know. I want that. It's the only natural double 20 I'm ever gonna get, I swear.
Whoops, that's... I don't know what button I just hit. Oh, apparently I didn't hit a button.
Can I play as Guts?
Sure.
I just want a healer with us.
Would anyone like to take over Janeon as well? I can give you control over for now. Or I can do it.
What class is Janeon?
Janeon, I believe, is a straight fighter.
He's an okay Nacho with boomerangs.
There you go. Alright, I mean, I can take him.
I can do it if you want me to.
Okay.
I've never played an Arcane Archer, but I have played fighters.
The short gist is he uses his boomerangs and he always goes back to get them because they don't self-return yet because they're not enchanted.
If they miss, they come back. If it hits, they do not come back. It's a bit weird. All right.
He's got melee and stuff. That's just his kind of trick he does.
So Adrian, you see this just incredibly large thing surface in front of you. It sort of just pushes the ground away effortlessly, comes up on the surface and just roars directly in your direction too.
Guys, are we finding this?
Let's get a volley off.
Alright.
then
Volley
run.
number 1.
Well, yeah, that's a hit. Yeah, it's a big hit.
Eat my upgraded firebolt.
Whoops, now 158. He didn't do that much damage. Alright, Guts, our bard.
Oh wait, I'm playing Guts.
Right.
Guts will proceed to they want you to level up, I think. Yeah, no, they're level 4. I'll just use they call their Kruthik's mother an slimy maggot.
Oh no, not their mother.
And they do 2d4 damage if it makes a wisdom save.
Wisdom. Okay.
Which I'm pretty sure is one above what they have listed, so the DC should be 15, I want to say.
Yeah, either way.
They take 6 psychic damage, and they have disadvantage on their next attack. If it makes it before the end of its next turn, which it probably will.
Alright, Rick.
Right.
Oh, I didn't roll initiative for Janeon. Oh, sorry, that was Janeon.
Well, for the moment, I do rage, and then.
Did you roll initiative for yourself? Sorry,
Yeah.
Rick.
Yeah, I'm on there
Everyone
at 19
on this
or at 9. So
You changed to 17 because
I
of
know.
that.
Because I hit initiative on.
Okay,
Janeon.
okay.
Hold an action.
So let me change that to there. That one's correct for me. Let me drag Janeon on here.
So, are you mounted, Rick, or do you come off the horse for this?
He muted him. He deafened himself somehow. Are you
Yeah,
mounted or are you coming off the horse?
I would probably get off the horse.
Okay. All right. And so you will hold your action to attack it when it comes close.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. And let me just move.
Touch spell. Oh, it's not a touch spell. Cool.
We'll go ahead and do Janeon's action, and
Okay.
then I will move it to where it needs to be.
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Okay, so again, I guess I'll just do 2 shots with his bow or boomerang. I guess that's what he normally uses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, not with the boomerang because I don't want the boomerangs to get lost in case. Because I got a hunch this is going to be like we're either going to kite him along or we're just going to run for our lives. So, so I'm just going to do. He has regular arrows, I assume. Does he have a regular bow and arrow?
That's a good question. I don't believe he does.
The gimmick is the crossbow.
No, he does not.
I mean the boomerang.
Have to teach this person a lesson here. All right. Well, I guess we are going to do. How many boomerangs does he have?
2.
He has 2. Yes, he has
pretty sure.
a silver boomerang and just the normal boomerang.
He's a witcher.
Okay, and they do not return, or
If they
hit. If they hit, they do not return. Great. Okay. Well, then I'm not going to risk him because I got a hunch we're going to be running. So I'm just going to have him hold his actions. If something gets within melee range, he will attack.
Okay.
So that'll be what he'll be doing. He's going to be running with the rest of us, but if this thing catches up to us, then he'll attack.
Okay. All right, so now it is the Kuthrik's turn. The Kuthrik...
Oh God, why?
Well, so far you've hit it the hardest. It does that thing where it rears up, and this toxic spike comes out at you and just completely whiffs. Then it charges towards Rick, and it attacks him.
Ouchie.
It hit.
Ouchie.
Ow.
Are you raging?
Yeah, I started first thing doing.
Alright.
All right, so Tadpole, it is over to your turn.
Okay. Well, I am going to. How far away am I? Actually, I should probably find that out.
Not that far.
Close enough. Okay, I'm actually going to hop off my horse. Does that take half my movement?
We can do 2 things. Normally, yes. You can do an acrobatics check for it not to. But
Okay.
you're probably looking, because you've got your bow out, I assume you're holding on to it, you're probably looking at a 14 or so DC.
14 of what?
To properly jump off your horse, hold on to everything, and then to get your full movement.
No, I'm going to put my bow against the pommel of the saddle and just jump off. I'm not carrying my bow with me.
Okay.
I'm just going to take my dagger. But I'll still go with 14 if you want to. So yeah, I'm going to try to do an acrobatics then.
We'll call it a 12. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, well, that's fine. I'm going to run up to it, and I'm going to try to hit it with my dagger. and I am at disadvantage. No, he's in combat, right?
He is in combat.
Oh, good. Then I have it's normal because I have pack tactics.
Okay.
Okay, so here's my dagger. Woohoo! And I get sneak attack. And then I'm going to do spend a key point.
Okay.
And do Fury of Blows. And do 2 attacks with my... I'm going to kick him twice.
Ooh. First one misses.
Okay, that's fine. And then I'm going to run back to my horse.
Okay. Adrian.
I am on my horse still.
Yes.
This was not 40 feet.
Say that again?
Horse is 40 feet of movement.
Yeah.
Go out a bit and shoot firebolt.
Okay. 14 is a miss.
No. Okay.
Janeon.
Well, did this thing look like it was pretty fast?
Yes.
Like faster than 40?
Not faster than 40, but it looked 40.
But faster than 30. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're not outrunning this thing then. All right. Well, then Janeon is going to get off his horse and go and attack this thing. Or actually going to throw 2 boomerangs. Throw 2 boomerangs. So let me see if I can do this.
That's right. He gets 2 attacks now, doesn't he?
Yep. Boom. And boom.
Those are both hits. For 20.
And then
I believe you can attach a enchantment if you want to on that note.
Okay. I have no idea what enchantments they have. Help me out on this one, Grim. What enchantment would he have used?
Let's see. He particularly likes... well, he's only got the 2. He likes Grasping Arrow for the most part. It does, what is it, an extra 2d6, and then if it moves, it takes more.
Okay, then let's do that.
Okay, I don't know if he's got a card set up for it. He doesn't, so just give me a 2d6.
Is it just 2d6?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
27, or... Yeah, 27 points of damage.
The thing is now bloodied.
Not too shabby.
All right. Guts.
Gut is going to choose a crossbow, I'm pretty sure. No, it does have. Why don't you?
I don't think you guys are really big on like ranged weapons if you're not
I'm
like
the only ranged
a
fighter.
caster.
Dissonant Whisper.
Okay, and that's another wisdom save, right?
And because she doesn't have the level spells picked, but she has slots, I'm gonna make it level 3.
Okay.
It's 5d6.
Okay.
20 damage, and it has to use its reaction to run away from me.
All right. So
Which I'm pretty sure triggers the arrow thing.
sure does. So another 2d6 from you. Janeon / Tadpole. And Rick, you get an attack of opportunity if you would wish.
Damn.
Get attack of opportunity.
Sure. Hold on.
Is it dead?
If it's not, it's about to get 2 more of those.
I gotta do bad math. Don't judge me. Okay, it is not dead, but the thing has run 40 feet over to here.
Is it burrowing?
It is not burrowing. So, Rick, it is your turn.
I'm gonna chase him down,
All right.
and I should have 40 feet because of that.
Yes.
He's fast as his
And,
horse. Rick doesn't need the horse.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him 2 more of those.
Well, one
Ouch.
hits, one misses. Whoops. All right, so it is its turn. Well, it will attack you, and then it will attempt to use its toxic spike against you, Rick.
Well, it hits me with the claw, but not the spike.
All right.
What is a quarter of 15?
You round it up. So 8. Or you round it down, excuse me. So 7.
I should be a quarter because I have resistance to slashing as well.
Oh, a
Just
quarter.
because of rage.
I'm sorry.
I've totally like not noticed it this whole time, but rage has resistance to slashing, bludgeoning, and piercing.
Well, right.
And
That's
so-
how you get your half, right?
No, actually, I've got this skill here. The totem spirit.
The stack
Right,
is the
right.
question.
Does it double stack? I wouldn't think so.
Actually,
I think
no.
this is just
That's one I wouldn't think.
an additional. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
Everything but psychic.
I found something. Hold on. With hold on. No, this is something else. Never mind. Yeah, it doesn't stack. My knowledge.
Fair
So
enough.
it hits you for the 7.
Yep.
All right. And unfortunately, on its turn, from out of the hole where it was, several more pop out.
How many?
Big ones or small ones?
These are sort of the medium-sized ones.
The young ones?
Yes. So, let me just go back to where its turn was. All right, and it is over to Tadpole.
Okay. I am going to. How far away are these things from me? Let's see here.
Relatively close.
Okay. Well, I am going to run to them. I'm going to run over, I guess, to here. Oh, I don't have my. Okay, so I'm going to run over here and do an attack against one attack against each one of these.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, one with my dagger, the first one. And does that hit?
It does.
Sneak attack then. Okay. And then I'm going to do 2 kicks. Actually, I'll do one kick against one kick against the other.
Well, let me stop you, because
Sure.
this first one you hit goes down.
Okay, well, that was an attack, but I'm at disadvantage, so that is a miss
Okay.
because there's nobody next to me. And the second, I'm going to try to hit that second one. That, however, probably is a hit.
That's a hit.
Okay. And then I'm going to run back. And I can run 30 feet away because I have a 50-foot speed. So I'm going to move to there.
I forget. Do you have a feat or whatever that lets you...
Mobile feet.
Mobile.
That's right. Kobold.
Kobold and mobile feet.
All right. Well, you killed the one that was going next. So, Adrian, it is your turn.
How far away am I?
You...
I'm in range still. That's fun. Firebolto.
well, that's a hit.
And I just kind of strafe around him.
All right. It is this one's turn next. It is going to head up and after Rick. Gets one bite with advantage. 16?
Hits.
Okay. And so you take 3.
I'm
Janeon.
good.
But you have potions, so...
Tadpole as Janeon. Or Janeon as Tadpole.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
No worries.
Okay.
I understand.
And Janeon is going to come up here and engage this one.
Mm-hmm.
And pulls out his rapier. Attacks twice. Boom. Boom.
Those hits, though.
Those are both misses, I'm afraid.
Okay. Well, he is not going to try to get an attack opportunity against him, so he's going to stand his ground.
Okay. This one right here is going to move over to Rick and attack Rick. With advantage. And so you take 2. Rick, it is your turn.
I'm good. Now for my turn,
Yes.
can I sort of spin around and breath weapon them? Would it get both of them?
I think the cone starts here.
I'm not sure how the cone works.
You could get one, but you couldn't get both. I'm afraid.
Oh, turn around and breath weapon. This one.
Mm-hmm. And that's what? Dexterity save?
It's a... Hold on. Dex save. 8
Yes.
plus 2 plus 2. So 14. It saves.
It
So
still
it
takes
takes
2d6.
Half damage?
Mm-hmm. Or... Yes, 2d6.
Yeah.
All right.
And then for my bonus attack, I'm gonna just turn around and hit the big one
Okay.
with my axe again.
That is a
If
miss.
that hits. Cool.
All right. Guts. As Adrian.
Sorry, yeah.
Adrian
no.
has guts.
Guts has guts. Guts has guts. Viciously mark the, Those are feet of it, 60 feet? I think that's in range. The one that's Janeon's fighting for having a lopsided, claw.
Okay.
Wisdom save.
Well, that's
7 damage.
that is enough to bring it down.
It couldn't live with its shame.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it works, but it just works. All right, so the big one is going to be attacking you twice, Rick, with advantage. It is going to claw you twice. So 16.
I knew
only
one of those
one.
was going to hit.
Oh, the 16 misses?
No, the 16 hits.
Okay. Well, you take 4. And Tadpole, it is your turn.
Okay. Well, let's see here. I can get that close, I guess. Okay, so I can get up in range at least. So I will go there, and I will attack this one.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah. That's what I'll do. Okay, I will do a dagger, and I do not have disadvantage, but that's okay. That one misses, I assume.
Yes.
Okay, and then I'm going to do a kick.
Well, that one
Booyah.
certainly hits. And that is enough to bring it down.
All right.
Adrian.
How bloody is the big one?
Very?
What?
It's
Uh.
it's barely hanging on at this point.
Oh, okay.
Comparatively. Like, it still might take a full round of, but...
Oh, whatever, sure. Firebolt, oh, goddamn. I rolled a 1, I rolled a 2 and a 3.
Alright, this one is dead. Janeon.
That's
Okay.
Tadpole.
Yep. I remember now. Woohoo! All right. He's going to pick up his boomerangs,
Sure.
throw one. Let's just range on the boomerang. It's not on the character sheet that I saw.
Oh, I think it's like 60 something.
Okay, enough
Not
to hit
the-
all of them.
I thought they were on the big one, though.
No. He threw them at the. But did he throw them at the big one?
Yeah,
Oh,
remember
they're
you...
3120.
Oh, but the big one was here, though.
Yeah, but they were...
So he's gonna walk over here, pick it up, and then throw. Or they stick. Do they just hit him and bounce off, or are they stuck in him?
They generally stick in them.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess he's going to. Because he has no other ranged weapons, which I will have to chastise him for later. I can't get within range unless. So he's going to go. Actually, he can go here. He can
He's
go
got
right there.
25 movement. He's
Oh.
goblin.
He's only got his goblin.
Okay, well, he can get there then.
Yeah.
All right. So he's going to go there and hit twice with the rapier.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, boom.
Missing a hit, and the hit's enough to kill it.
Okay.
So it's dead now. It is Rick's turn. Rick, can you finish it off?
I'm going to do my best to finally take out this big one.
Yeah, that's enough to do it. You sink your axe into it, and you manage to lop off the thing's head, basically. It screes quite loud when it dies, which is a bit unusual, because most of the times when you were fighting all these smaller ones and all that, there wasn't much in the way of sounds. You know, there clicking of mandibles, chitin moving against chitin, but that's pretty much it. This one, however, lets out an audible shriek when it dies.
Can I start quickly loading it up onto my horse?
I do not think your horse is going to be able to carry this one. If you are quickly loading it up, it's going to take strapping down and all that kind of jazz. It is pretty big.
How heavy is it?
You'd probably guess somewhere on the order of a ton.
Is it more than 500 pounds? I didn't hear what you said.
On the order of a ton.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
No,
Yes.
I can hear you now. I didn't hear if you said something before.
Yeah, okay. No, I lost all internet connection for about 20 seconds.
Oh.
So I didn't hear what happened.
Well, give me 1 second and I'll be right back. I have to use the restroom again.
Okay. I'll go AFK for just a moment, too.
18. Draft force strength. Oh god, why?
We just killed more by the hive, didn't we? This
Oh,
could be good.
totally. I am
I don't think
hoping
it-
for...
I
Where
don't
the
think
fuck
we're...
is the Over Dragon Kind's in the fucking SOD for some reason. That's weird. There we go. I'll use the each ability. Dragon Lift. 30 times your strength score. Tries to carrying capacity 3 times your strength. So what is yeah, we can't carry this.
Should we just try and load it up onto the horses and then
No, the horses
if more
can't carry
show up,
it.
just get...
If it weighs 2,000 pounds, the horses can only carry about 600 each, maybe.
All right.
Well, the draft horses are large, actually, so they can only still carry about half a ton.
But we could, like, tie it maybe over 2.
If you want to drag it behind 2 horses, then we could maybe do that and keep speed.
Is that what you would like to do?
That's what we have. I mean, if we're taking it with us.
Yeah, if... I would like to do that, but I'm not sure how practical it's going to be.
2 horses have to share the weight. If we just... We don't need to tie it up, we can just have it free drag, you know what I mean? Like they're pulling a
Yeah.
carriage together.
Sure.
I mean, you can cut the ropes if there's any... That way, if we need to ditch it, we can just cut the rope. So basically just gonna tie its legs together and have those be the anchors behind the horses.
All right. That's
Okay, I'm back.
a thing we can do.
And we want to make the garden stud militia overly excited so they all rush out and get fucked up.
Did we cut off the head of that thing and bring it with us?
Or we're just... 2 horses can drag it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I wanted to tie it by its legs and then just drag it behind us.
That works.
All right. So while we are lashing this thing to our horses, let me get perception checks from everyone.
Okay.
I will
I'm going to hop
save-
back in the cave or the
18.
tunnel as well.
Okay.
And just kind of listen.
18 and whatever the hell I wrote. 18 and... Okay, the owl sees better. 18.
Here, let me give...
Oh, we lost somebody. We lost Mufasa.
that's Guts. This is Janeon.
So we have a 24 and an 18 in and out of the tunnel.
Tadpole, there are things coming close to you at a high speed. Like, we're not talking a leisurely what's going on. We're talking we know exactly what's going on and we don't like it speed.
Got it. Okay. I'm going to quickly jump out of the tunnel and say, people, or monsters coming. Cut off its head and let's go.
Is it tight? Because this shouldn't take more than a few minutes at most, just to tie its legs in a knot.
Sure.
We're not, we're not being fancy about it.
You
Alright.
can take it and you can tie it and you can go.
Well, let's run then.
As you're... Shoot, where's my token? Behind you, you can see... Man, I swear I just had it. I hate Roll20 sometimes.
Right? Do Rick and Janeon want to take it? I can be our fire support to that. And Tadpole can help remove them. That and Rick, you can fucking walk as fast as the horses, so who gives a shit if you fall off? No offense.
Yeah, I was just gonna say if they get too close, jump off and hold them off, then just run after the horses. Holy, there's a lot of them. Let's get this. Let's get this
Are
done
they,
and out of
are
here.
those
Yeah.
adults or those hive lords?
Those are the Hive Lords. They're the
Oh.
same as the large ones you've just seen.
They're the ones we're trying to struggle to get on the horses.
Are we like moving? Are we mounted at this point?
At this point, you are moving.
And they're following us in formation?
Pretty much.
Okay, if they don't seem to give any, any loss, then I'm going to cast artillery. And set the fuck. Are we around the forest? Is this all like wooded and stuff?
Okay, we're gonna move over to the overworld map.
Overworld, yeah.
We are right about here.
Yeah.
And here I can bloop. Oh gosh, it's not even. So here's the thing. These things aren't giving up in their chase.
Good.
You know, they're sort of a back and forth between the two of you. All three of these things have a missile attack. Two of you, for intensive purposes, ammunition, I'm not about to lose my boomerang, have missile attacks. It's going to take... Where are we? We are about 8 miles away from the city. What we're going to do is we're going to do, just for the sake of simplicity, we're going to do 10 attacks from you guys attacking and 10 attacks total from those guys attacking at random targets both ways. And we'll shave off HP as necessary from there. It's super easy to do their attacks. It's a little bit more complicated to do your attacks because they all have the same AC. A little bit more complicated to do theirs, but it gives a good back and forth. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Is this per group, per person?
per person. We're going to do per person because, the player always gets the advantage. So, 10 attacks from you, Tadpole, 10 attacks from you, Adrian. Presumably you're just doing cantrips.
What about the 10 spares I have for this exact moment?
I forgot you had spears.
Do you
Feel
want
free.
my crossbow? Does anyone want my crossbow?
Can I hand Janeon my short bow? Because I'm attacking with disadvantage and he's not.
You can.
Okay.
See what Gus
That's
has.
fine. We can
And
sort
then I'm
of...
going to chastise him for not having a bow.
I had stuff prepared for this moment, I think. Some from earlier on. But, verbal 30 feet. How far away are they from us?
They're close. They're
Like 30
keeping
feet?
distance. They're exactly the same speed as your horses. Going flat out. They're the same.
I'm going to fall back to the backmost horse. So I'm the closest to the monsters. I'm still going to stay away from them, but I want to be the one closest. I want to be their closest target. unless somebody else wants to.
Rick, how injured are you?
What's that? I'm not injured at all.
No, Rick.
I don't think anybody's particularly injured.
I've been a little bit scratched.
Guts is gonna high five you.
Woohoo!
Plus, fuck is our modifier? 4. 14 health back.
All right. So roll your attacks. Your target AC is 16.
Okay. I'm just gonna do boomerang, even though it's gonna be the arrow. He doesn't have the bow on his.
That's fine.
Oh God, why?
Yeah. So keep track of your own, obviously.
It's twice, damn. 3 times, I'm sorry.
How many? What's the AC that they have to hit?
16.
Okay.
Indeed, I do have some slight things. How does that work?
You've got what?
I have some, I stocked up on stuff. I didn't take any of the things I thought I had. Oh, these are still good.
I mean, unless
Okay.
you're telling me what you're doing, I can't.
Item interactions in this case, do they take an attack, or can I, like, if I can just toss something behind me real quick?
Like, are we talking, like, Tanglefoot grenades or something? of
No,
that
I got
nature?
bags of caltrops I bought, like,
Look at that damage.
2 shifts ago.
Sucks.
Hold on, I gotta...
Caltrops, as an action, you can
4
spread a single bag
damage.
over 5-foot area.
Um,
I think if they're following us, so they're pretty much, you know what I mean?
sure.
Can I pretty much get them covered and right behind us so they run into them?
Sure. They're not going to be super effective because of the natures of they have spikes for feet. But you can toss them and it can do some damage.
That's actually a dex save. I'm just gonna like unload those behind us, so hopefully it hits them. Fail.
We're just going to simplify and do one.
Oh, then they failed. The effects of caltrops is that if they fail, they take 1 piercing damage and stop moving.
They're not going to stop moving, I'll be frank.
And until they
They're not going to care about the pain.
At least, and then until they regain 1 hit point, their speed is reduced by 10 feet. Does that effect take them?
No, they're not going to slow down from this.
Well, my poor caltrops, then I erased them. Spike feet be damned. Who's doing next? Do you want to go next, Rick?
I'll start tossing out spears.
Okay. Are you going to toss all 7?
Yeah,
Alright. Go ahead and toss
get
them
some
out.
more lead.
And Janeon did 31 damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only 3 hits.
Nice. Started off good there. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4 hit.
Alright. Add up your damage, and then, Adrian, you can roll yours.
I'm gonna give Guts my crossbow.
Okay.
Do her first, because I'm saving my big bang attack. I'm Vegeta now. Vegeta. I'm just gonna drag it into her weapon thing for the sake of figuring out the stats. Loads. Come on, roll 20.
48?
I don't know how you
48. Alright.
I need to amend mine. It wasn't 31 damage because I forgot the +4 to each attack, so +12 to that. So
Okay.
43. Or, yeah, 43.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it manually because it won't work for some reason. Well, how much attack damage does light cost? Oh, I know why it wasn't working. I was dragging proficiency and not the actual weapon. That was weird. Alright. This is 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hit.
Okay.
$47 damage total.
Okay. All right, and what we will do is there's 5 of us. We'll do 2 attacks against each one, and we'll figure out whether they hit and whatnot from there. All right. So in no particular order, let's start with Adrian. 2 attacks against you.
Shield the last one.
All right. Rick, 2 attacks against you.
The last one hit.
Okay. DC 15 con to resist poison.
And then after this,
That's
I'm
good.
attacking, right?
Right. Sorry, I forgot your attacks. Tadpole against you.
Ouchie.
Okay, what's the damage on the critical there?
The poison should not have added. That should only be a 5.
Because I'm going to deflect missiles.
Yeah, don't you have that?
So it reduces the damage by 11.
Okay. So you take 5 piercing, 5 poison. Against Guts, who has an AC of 14.
Yep. And immunity to poison. Second one hits. For 9 damage, I assume.
She's got to do a...
Oh.
She's a skeleton.
Oh, correct.
No
Speaking
blood
of
poison.
Tadpole, give me a Constitution save to see if you actually take
Okay.
damage from the poison. Okay, you actually do take the damage, so...
So we did a pretty decent damage to these, though, right?
Fairly, yeah. And against Janeon, who has a AC
18.
of...
I think it's 18. He has a shield.
Yeah.
19, damn.
All right, and so you, Adrian.
Yay! I had 10 spells I can cast. Basically,
Okay.
right? Now these, I haven't used these, have I? No. These get 3 things per thing because that's how the spell works. So I get, you know what I mean? It's Scorching Ray.
Sure.
That's all focused on one of them, whatever looks one of them.
All right. Well, that's 2 hit.
Actually, I'm just gonna do one of each of them and then finish it. So that's my 3rd level spell slots. Another one of those. Those all hit?
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6 of them?
The 15s do not hit.
Okay. So that's 15 damage. That's 6 attacks, so I have 4 left, right? Right.
You're using him... Sure.
I get attacked. That's 2 Scorching Rays, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4 Firebolts, so 6. I used a shield and the thing. 1 Magic Missile. Just so I can't miss. I have 3 left. Firebolt, fireball. I didn't. Nah, I'll keep that one. I double clicked. I'll save a spell slot. That hits. And the final attack, Grim. The final beautiful attack. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you
Sure.
prepared? Are you prepared for this beautiful display of fireworks? Oh, now we're doing all three. No, you're good.
I mean, would you rather me keep 23?
No, I don't want to. Let me add this all up. 20.
I'm just gonna use cantrip to use as every single spell slot.
Grim said I was going to use cantrips. I never said I wanted to be using spells. Ah shit, I was at 15. That was magic missile. Plus that, plus 29. $86 damage.
Okay.
Are they fucking dead?
Oh gosh, no. Not all of them, certainly.
Do we have to add up each damage total, right? So 86. Plus
They must all
47.
be pretty messed up by now.
I think they might be dead.
They each have 120 hit points.
Well, we had a lot of damage. How much damage did Janeon do?
You did 224 hit points worth of damage to him. So what I'm doing is I'm splitting it up between the three.
So, okay.
All right.
They're all bloodied, basically.
Yes.
Where are we at this point? Oh, we're going back into the city wall?
Pretty much.
Oh, can I just...
Oh,
Do
no.
I get...
Do you get what?
Are we doing a fight, or what are we doing?
I mean, that kind of depends on you. They've chased you this entire way so far. And we've been doing this entire back and forth thing. Presumably you're fighting.
Do we see the city notice that we're coming? And like manning the walls?
There are guards and whatnot you've seen passing along the way. I mean,
Do they see us?
not exactly hard to miss. 3 large things and, you know, a coursing party charging through the things.
Let's aim for the main gate. Let's make a spectacle.
Tried to go ahead of you, but you are going much faster than they are. But you will note that they haven't peeled off to go after anything else. These 3 things are specifically going after your group.
Can we direct them towards the front door?
I mean, you can.
Let's do that. Let's get them by the door so people inside of the city can see.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to make a spectacle of it if they're pretty much bloodied.
Yeah, no. I get that, but you're going in front of the gates?
I want to kill them where people can see them killed.
Sure, that's not an issue.
Okay.
Alright, so let's get initiative again, but not until I
high initiative,
clear the current initiative. Whoops, that was the wrong button. Oh no, you rolled too early.
I'm keeping the 16. Oh.
trying to get my...
Ooh, are we on the right map? Did I? Okay.
Let's see here.
I got that habit.
I don't think I have control over Janeon again. Because I can't click on him to roll initiative. I can't select that. Do you want me to drag it on myself?
Try again?
Here, let me try drag. Okay, maybe that'll help.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, now I can roll initiative, I think.
Man, I'll never understand how it works. Very sorry, just looking for a specific token that I forgot that I had saved somewhere else. So I didn't even need to look for it.
How could you? So what is this on that note?
That is the wall itself.
Are these guys just on the other side since they can't go on top of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like a barrier of stone and nothing in between the wall and where any buildings start. This is the area where they're on. They're more just sort of there.
How do they even know where they are? But okay.
That's why they're more just sort of there.
Okay.
Okay, so everybody rolled, and we rolled all our other characters as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
9 and 5.
I did not roll guts. I'm sorry. I forgot about her. I'm a horrible bard. Okay, there we go. 8, yeah.
Okay, and actually, since we are in the front of the city, here we'll just clear a little.
Yay, we're by the gate.
No. So people can at least see in. We're out. So what is the plan? Is the plan to try to fight them outside of things? Is the plan to try to lure them through the gap? What are we doing?
My plan is pew pew. Do you have a plan, guys?
Let's divide and conquer. I'll go one way. Janeon and I will go one way, and
Rick, do you want to do it or should I do it?
They're a little bit too far away for me to run up and punch them, so you go.
Okay.
Okay, so are we dismounting from our horses? We
I
can
am.
do that as a free thing right now.
Yep.
No worries.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I won't even worry about the horses. Presumably they run through the gate or something. Or are horribly slaughtered. Whatever. All right, so you can move yourself in a formation you would like. No problems with that.
Rick, be the tank. You need to tank the tanks. Get up there. Take those blows. Be the target. No one touched the wall, by the way.
is it okay to get that close without getting hit by the wall?
No, you would know that that's too close.
Okay. That okay?
That's probably fine.
Okay.
Okay, we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so well, right now, Rick is the only one in range. So we will start with a toxic spike against him, and then we will move forward.
Ouchie.
and claw him.
Oh, wow.
Again, the poison should not be added to it. It should just be 2. Let's get a Constitution save versus the poison. DC 15. Which is an easy save.
If only you are a dwarf.
So you take 25.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, and that was actually the wrong one. It was
Yeah,
supposed
this
to be-
one was the one that was supposed to move.
Yeah, but the other one's just moving there, so... the other one is actually doing the same thing, however. So there is a non-advantage Toxic Spike, and there is a with advantage attack.
The attack misses.
And again, a DC 15 con check. So you take 11. And it is Guts' turn.
Guts is gonna move this way. And can I hit both of these in a thunder wave without getting quick at all, or no?
You gotta pop it up because I don't remember the range on it.
But I think I'm in range. I'm not sure.
I mean, I know at least the one is in range.
15-foot cube.
From you? No, you could not hit them without hitting Rick.
Rick, do you consent to being hit?
Yeah.
Level 2 thunder wave. I need a con save on both of them.
Alright.
It's 15, I want to say. Yeah, it's 15.
Well, that's
Which
one.
one?
We'll just say this first one right here.
The first one is which one? This one?
Sorry, this one. The first one to
What?
move.
Then he is pushed back 10 feet. I think. Yeah. Move it. There you go.
Alright, Adrian.
Okay, centered around... You see this arrow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, centered around here then. That's 20 feet, that's all 3 of them. And... Boom. Oh, boom.
Alright, we'll go from left to right.
Yay. The injured one succeeded.
I mean, they're all super injured.
The one that got thunder waved and failed succeeded. And that's my turn. I'm just chilling here, sitting, and all of a sudden I look down, like, oh, what's that? There's this ant climbing up my leg, trying to kill me.
There's a what?
There's this ant on my leg. It was trying to kill me, man, I swear. It knows we're fighting its large cousins.
Sure. Rick, your turn.
I am going to
Ooh, there was one thing I gotta do.
rage.
Alright.
God, you took full damage.
I'm gonna attack this one closest to me twice.
A hit and a miss. Oops, plus rage.
Is it bad?
It is barely hanging on. It's certainly more dead than alive. It's
Jesus
not
Christ.
mostly dead. It's certainly more dead than alive. Tadpole.
Okay, I'm going to run up here and cower down in front of them and say, "Oh, you guys are so strong and scary!" And that is grovel, cower, and beg. Everybody has advantage against these two until the end of my next turn.
Okay.
And then I am going to run back away. So they should both get attacks of opportunity against me.
They do?
Because I did not attack them.
Okay. Wait, they do or do not?
They do, because
Okay.
I did not attack them. I have to attack them for them to not have attacks of opportunity against me. But I
Gotcha.
did not attack them.
All right, well, the one from the left and then the one from the right.
Okay, neither of them hit. Yay.
They're within 5 of each other. They both get advantage.
Oh, okay. Then they both hit.
Yay.
But not too bad.
27. That's pretty bad for me.
Could have been a lot worse.
Oh, I have 4 hit points left. So
Yay.
Ooh, okay, so... Alright, this one can get in too. We're going to do a repeat. First a Toxic Spike, just normal against Rick, and then a Claw with advantage.
Rick's about to get fucked up.
So again, Constitution save. Or no, wait, you're... Yes. Never mind. So let's see. You take 4 poison, and you take 6, 8 damage. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry.
You take all the numbers.
So 12 total. Janeon as Tadpole.
okay. And by the way, Tadpole will be yelling for Guts to, "I'm hurt! I'm hurt!" All right. Janeon is going to throw both of his boomerangs against this one, that one that's circled right there.
Mhm.
And I have advantage now because of the gravel, cower, and bag. Ooh, so that's a critical. But I don't think the 14 hits.
The 14 does not hit. It is not needed.
Oh. Okay. And that's what he is doing. And then he's pulling out his bow that I gave him.
All right, it is.
Oh, go ahead. That's it.
Okay. We're gonna move this one down to the map layer. This one is going to come forward and attack Rick twice. Whoops, I didn't mean to roll 3 times.
I do a thing. Rather, Guts does a thing. But she doesn't have cards set up. 1 second.
You take 8 points, Rick.
Right? I don't know what it was. I was trying to see what level with I found my handbook. Okay. I found the thing I wanted. Yes. Guts is going to use a cutting words on one of those attacks, presumably the 18.
Mm-hmm.
The reaction she uses 1 bardic inspiration. Which I want to say for her is what is that, D6?
Yes.
And that still hits him.
Okay.
That wouldn't hit me because I've been using my club and shield.
Oh, so it does miss him then.
Okay, so that would be The first one, so you take 5 points. Instead. Alright, and it is Guts' turn proper.
Guts is properly, there's a squirrel outside my window. She step onto the corpse right here?
Yeah.
Properly gups up, plays a little lute, and then proceeds Thunder Wave again.
Okay.
At level 1 this time. So, DC 15.
And again, left and right.
They only take 4 or 5 damage. 4.
Well, it rounds up for the bad guys.
5 damage. Well, that's it. Actually, no. Bonus action. On Tadpole
Okay.
for 8 points of health.
Thank you.
Adrian.
And that's certain. My turn.
Adrian proper.
My turn. There I got left. Oh, what do I have? Magic missile. Magic missile. Level 2 magic missile.
Against.
I'm gonna split the 9 to this one, the right one, and the 6 to the left one.
Okay.
So 2 and 2. And that's my turn.
Okay. The one on the left, barely hanging on.
Oh, also, Esther and Draconic, fall back, let the guards try. They're weak enough. So only Tadpole and Rick can understand me. And Zusha, she's somewhere near the wall, I guess. I don't know.
I didn't even think of Zeus. She didn't come with you.
No, she's in the tavern.
Sure. Doing her usual at the moment. So you hear a shout behind you, in common, along the lines of "Move out of the way, you idiots!" And then you hear the wall behind you start to rumble, and a section of it lurches forward. But not too far forward, because you're in the way.
Oh god, why?
It doesn't attack you.
Yeah.
It just stops right there.
Yeah.
It lurches ever so slightly forward. Rick, it is your turn.
Well, I am first of all going to make one attack against each of them, starting with that one.
Okay. It's a hit. It goes down.
And the second one's on the one that's still alive, obviously. Then I'm going to use my bonus action to disengage
Doesn't
and
that do cold damage?
get out of here.
No, this is the Bone Club. There's no need to disengage. 8 damage is exactly enough to put it down.
Also, you're not a rogue
Whoa!
or a goblin. I don't think you can bonus action unless you have a new class thing or something.
So you sort of pull out your Bone Club and you give it 2 just sharp thwacks against its chitiny shell, and it just collapses just completely. It sort of legs splay straight out from underneath it, and it just falls to the ground in one big poof.
Yay.
And there's just this stunned silence from the guards, who are preparing for a huge fight, and they just start slowly clapping. And it just builds up, and eventually they're starting to cheer, and yell, and it's a great time. All except for one guard. This guard right here, who appears to be struggling while holding some sort of amulet aloft in his hands. And it's not exactly a mental struggling, it's like a physical struggling with whatever he has in his hands. It almost looks like it's trying to pull away out of his hands, and he's having to try to fight to keep it in his hands.
I'll bring the things inside then quickly.
You okay there, buddy?
I'm having a little difficulty controlling the wall.
Well,
You
put
may
it
want to
back.
move.
Yeah, let's get away from that.
Yeah, we'll head off to the side here.
Let me get my horse if it's still there. No, they're probably inside by now. Never mind.
No, they wouldn't be milling around wherever they are. After a while of sort of wrestling with this amulet that appears, a couple of people come over, they try to help, and it looks like they have to physically pull it back almost, in that it's very difficult to do it. Imagine if this amulet was, a solid object just floating in the air, and he has to pull it back physically. And eventually he does, however, and the wall manages to sort of fit back into place. And at this point, you guys are, well, gosh, I've lost count. Double, triple heroes? It's pats on the back, it's congratulations,
Yes.
just all around.
Clan Tadpole came through for us again.
Tadpole, you okay? Tadpole?
I don't care if I'm a hero or not. Where's the medical attention?
Guys, we got wounded. Looking for Tadpole.
Right, of course. We can rush you to the temple. It won't be far. Come on. And
Guts picks up Tadpole and she puts on a show like Tadpole is gravely injured.
Oh me, oh my, the pain.
I got royally munted in that fight. I got down to 4 hit.
Damn.
whew.
Don't you be looking at my skirt, you pervert.
It would have been 1. It would have been 1, but Cat's got me an extra 3 with the Bardic Inspiration.
All right, give me 1 second. Another very quick restroom break. So sorry.
So in my Tuesday night game on that note, we have they're using an extra barbarian because someone's not there. So I just sent a horde of a pack of werewolves after them. They're all CO3, CO5, whatever. There are like 10 werewolves managed to get both barbarians injured. The rogue was just flying on the treetops, and the bard was running around screaming. And both the barbarians have lycanthropy now on that note. Yay. Werewolves. Pack tactics is a bitch.
I love pack tactics. That's one reason why I love playing a kobold.
The thing is, all the Kruthic have. I mean, you can normalize your things with it unless we're playing at night, but all the Kruthic have it too. And that's.
Yeah.
I need to make some goggles of night for me, and I need to make some goggles of day for you.
That would
basically
work.
just sunglasses.
I'd be happy with that.
Well,
So, do some of these other places that this shifting city go to, are they always nice and bright like this?
I mean, the last one we went to for Zush's swamp was a desert with 3 suns.
Oh, that would be hell.
The one before that was a spooky forest where the sun didn't shine.
I like those kind of places. All right.
Yes, we might even find somewhere with no suns.
Oh, if we could be so lucky.
So you're carried, we're not carried, depending on how you feel and exactly what's going on, amidst a large throng of people. Yeah, the guards were doing their best to keep people from sort of rushing forward to the gates to see what was going on. But now that it seems like the threat's over, they're basically not even trying. Again, you're being hailed as heroes all over and over. There's a couple marriage proposals for Tadpole thrown in from some of the other kobolds around in the city. It's a great time.
All right.
You're taken to the temple. And then there's not very many people here inside the temple. Tadpole, you probably have a fairly well connection with the temple itself. Presumably this is where you received your training as a monk and all that in one form, shape, or another.
Okay.
Whether here or something like that, it would certainly have a connection with it.
Sure.
And you're certainly used to more people being out. The god that they worship here at this temple, I actually have to look at his name.
Say it again? I missed that. All I heard you said the god at this temple, and that's all I heard.
Is Tokrin, and he's the god of mercy. And as such, a lot of the functions that would be from a classical lawful good god are there. There's healing for the sick, for diseases and all that, but there's not much in the way of, say, straight spellcasters, clericy type things. So you can get medical treatment, but you're not exactly getting magical treatment.
Goody two-shoes. Worthless.
Will it stop the bleeding?
Yes, it'll definitely stop the bleeding.
Well, that's all I hear about it.
Well, I'm going to go and say, screw this. I'm going to go back to the tavern, get some sleep.
All right. You make your way back to the tavern. Your reputation has preceded you. Normally, whenever you come into the tavern, you can expect a barb or two from Peter, the tavern owner. But nothing now. He just looks at you, he nods, and he goes, "Get some rest."
Not until I finish cleaning up this room. It's a pigsty! I start cleaning the room, and then I go sleep.
All right. So what would the rest of us like to do?
Are there any actual other arcanely inclined folk around? If we're just kind of having some rest and relaxation, I can buy shit off of?
Not really.
Damn.
I'm afraid that's not really the way the city goes.
You have a necromantic living wall. How do you not have a wizard here for this shit? I'll go check in with Troll then.
Okay.
Janeon has been severely rebuked for not having a bow. Is going to go try to buy or find a longbow.
All right. That can be done without much trouble.
Okay.
They've been working on creating those very things in the city right now at your own orders. So, yeah, it's easily procured. Quiver easily procured. Arrows easily procured. And for free as well, I should add.
What bow does he get?
He would get a short bow, because that's mostly what they're working on. Much easier to make than a longbow.
Okay. There is no longbows anywhere, though?
You could probably get a longbow.
Because he's an arcane archer. Obviously, if anybody needed one, he would get one. But if only short bow, that's fine. Either way, let me know.
Okay. For now, we'll just go ahead and say a short bow.
Okay.
I can't remember how many 10 spares cost.
How many what?
10 spares cost.
Oh, I'd have to look it up. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head either.
I got it. Hold on. You're doing spears or you're doing javelins?
spears.
Okay. Spears are 1 GP. Javelins are 5 SP. They do the same damage. You just can't use javelins as a 1d8 versatile. That's the only difference.
This is a practice. Okay, that it works.
You attack the citizens.
Yeah. No, that was his bow. That was Janeon's bow. I'm just making sure I had it. I put it on his character sheet. So.
Sure.
So honestly, Rick, if you're not stabbing people with the spear, the javelins do the same thing. The spears actually have shorter range than the javelins. The javelins are 30-120. The spears are 20-60. Javelins are the throwing spears. Spears are the ones you kind of use the shield and stab people with.
I mean, in all fairness, I did throw away all of my spears, and I may as well switch them to.
They also they're half the price, they're 1 pound lighter, and they have more range for the same damage.
You'd be given up to 5 for free. You know, javelins are a cheap, easy thing to make and fall under the projectile weapon. So, the citizenry is working on making it.
I'd totally grab 15 then and pay for 10.
Okay.
Get a large quiver,
and that would be at normal player handbook prices.
Oh, on that note, if you're not made aware of Tadpole, things are a bit more expensive in the city.
What's that? Say them again.
In the shifting city, things are more expensive because of resources and stuff like that. Everything's probably triple the cost as it would be here.
Well, good. Then I can sell all this stolen alcohol for more money.
Basically.
Woohoo.
All right, so you approach Chol in the tavern. This seems to be pretty much where the base of operations has been set up, because that's more or less where the head of the city sets up.
Kind of sad if you think about it.
Well, it doubles as sort of a meeting hall, because it does happen to be the largest building in the city.
Fair enough. Saying the freaking mayor hangs out in the fucking tavern all day.
Well, perhaps not all day. But you see most of the group of the rat folk at a table more or less by themselves. And you come in through the door. You said you wanted to speak with him?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
who's he at?
Right here. If we're all in the same. Okay. And, you know, he's getting told pretty much what happens, and the story is just resounding out through the tavern as well. It's obviously the talk of the town. Oops, and I think we just lost. Oh, nah.
Might be are you reconnecting with us?
Yeah, we didn't lose him from Discord.
No. By now, presuming we have the map and stuff we mapped out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is he with everyone else over here like usual?
No. He is with his own group.
Alright. I'll go speak to him first then. How drunk is Zoosh?
Probably midday at this point. She's not super drunk. She wouldn't be drunk at all. She would be over her hangover and all that at this point. You guys are a bad influence, by the way.
What? None of us party. It's all the rat folk. I go over and sit down at the table. I greet my sister and I give Criff and Keith and Vex. I sit down in front of Joel and take out the map. So I'm presuming you've all heard of the wonderful show we put on outside.
We have.
Well, we were spending some time mapping and stuff like that. It looks like the tunnels follow at least one main kind of central road from where our old camp was, all about 3 miles north of the city, all in that forest. The fresher ones are near the river, but they haven't dug under or through the river yet at all. So if we need to take a detour, because they could realistically flank us from the northern forces on a retreat, we could take the river down and cross it at a later venture. Just getting that out of the way.
Right. He takes your map, and I'm going to transfer us all onto the map and use a different color for what I'm about to do. And begins to mark your map with basically fake tunnels on the other side of the river. Certainly much closer than any of the tunnels you've actually seen as well. And he gives you sort of a knowing glance. He's like, you've seen the tunnels from here.
Yes, the red line marks all the old tunnels. Those fresher ones past that, though. You're right. That's worrisome.
Right. So, what's your opinion of these things?
The small ones, like the younglings that are, small dogs, they're not much of a threat. The guards could probably, handle those. You guys would be fine. The adult ones we fought might need a few people of them. Any of your fighters would probably take one at a time. And with your, abilities, I doubt it'd be much issue. The large ones we just fought, the little, I'm just gonna presume they're nest guardians or whatever you want to call them. The quote-unquote hive lords. I don't think I know that name though.
You wouldn't.
Yeah, the larger ones we just killed. The small ones, I'm pretty sure, the adult and these are all as fast as the horses, the draft horses at least. And the larger ones we just killed, though, they can shoot ranged toxic spikes out though. Could the adults do that?
Yes, they could.
The adults and larger can shoot out ranged spikes. The young ones don't seem to have that, I believe.
Presumably.
Like a good hit will follow the yellow ones. The adults will be a decent fight, and the large ones, Scar could probably take one with some difficulty, depending on how much he regenerates, and if you guys have any resistances to poison.
He sort of shrugs. Well, we have sort of the normal resistances.
Yeah. I think it would be a tough fight for one, but two of your fighters would probably take the big ones on at a time. They all attack in swarms. We killed one, and then three of the big ones came out, and a lot of the small ones came out. You can see by our chase.
Right. So, these things, in your opinion, do they actually pose a threat against the city?
Does your wall... Oh, sorry, I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Adrian, or Janeon asked if the wall goes down below the ground.
Have they figured that out yet?
None of you having this conversation would know.
No, he's asking. Janeon's asking.
I don't think Troll knows
the dirt.
what he's saying.
Troll wouldn't know. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. He's been around, but they're standoffish at best towards him, even still. If you ask, anybody, you'd get sort of an evasive answer. Sort of,
If the heroes battalion, anybody.
When things need. We're not very worried about the tunnels.
Right. Actor Troll, I do know that we saw one of the... They were wrestling with an amulet to move the wall around physically. They can manipulate it, but, they have maybe a loss, a cleric. They don't have anyone that probably knows how the magic actually works personally, besides, culturally, I'm sure. Stuff like that. Traditionally and all that.
Right. It might be
But,
worth...
with the amount of guards and militia, I can probably say the militia would probably have a problem with, it's like fighting off a goblin attack, except they can dig. The young ones would be a hit or miss with any of the militia. The guardsmen would have issues with the adults, and if a lot of the big ones get in, then we're all fucked.
The big ones get in, it's game over, man.
Considering they have a large hide and they have all the all these tunnels that we know about, they're pretty expansive and there's a lot of them. If they attacked, if they actually moved in, which we just stirred the nest again, then the city, even if they dig under the wall, the city's screwed. People would be trapped inside, they wouldn't be able to evacuate.
Right. Did you get any better idea of their actual numbers?
Of the numbers, you said?
Yes.
Apart from scouting the tunnels, we didn't really see anything until the end when we got to the newer areas by the river.
Right, so...
There's going to be a lot. There's no shortage. As soon as you start fighting them over there, more and more keep coming out. There is no shortage of them to come.
So they're very aggressively defending their territory.
Yeah, and also they're expanding it too.
Right.
And since they're telenetically linked and they followed us to the wall this time, they probably know we're here, especially those with the higher level entities too.
Right.
I'm not sure if they were following us further out of their territory than the other ones would, because they're the bigger ones, or if they consider the city their territory.
Definitely we've stirred the nest a few times at this point.
Undoubtedly. Alright. Well...
Have we read the notes yet? Does anyone have the notes about Kruthek?
Yes, Troll would actually have them with it. Things are fragmented at best. It reads less as a what these things are and more of a these are the exploits of X who managed to defeat the Kuthrik on his own.
Fucking goddamn.
Yes.
City damn it.
The things that I've managed to glean are there at least 4 castes of them, but even this, I don't know how accurate it is. It calls the smallest ones hatchlings, but there's certainly no mention of the larva-like form we saw before.
So we have the hatchlings, presumably the adults. What's the other 2?
Young, a hive lord, and then of course there's a queen, but that's sort of a thing unto its own.
Right. Well, if we had to categorize those, I'd say those would be the hive lords we just fought, and then there's 4 of them that can be expended to chase us off.
Right.
I'd probably have a lot more, and those gave us issues.
Janeon suggests asks how they're coming along with the poisoned sheep.
Well, they've managed to get together a fair amount of poisonous objects. We haven't done it yet. It'll take time to get the herds, all dosed, as it were. One of the things that I've been reading through this suggests that these things don't actually eat meat, but it's all very strange. At one moment it says there's ravenous killers, they drag everybody back, and then it suggests that they don't eat meat in the next page. It's all... Like I said, it was less important for the writer to get information down than it was to extol the virtues of whomever the writer was. If you can believe it, it's untitled. Or unattributed.
Wow. I think this would be a bestseller right now.
Indeed.
Well, yeah, shall we report the map and our findings to the the elders, or whatever you wish to call those, the people that run the place?
I would. Again, make sure to stress the danger of them. They they saw you just best 3 of them very easily, so right now they're at an all-time high, but you have to...
Rick's almost dead.
Sure, I mean, you guys are rough, but...
Mind you, we chased them from, let's be honest, all the way up here to here, so that definitely make it out as a grueling battle. We had to flee, which we did.
Right. And I know the other one went up to rest, but you may want to grab her. It seems like her being from the town, they listen a bit more.
Alright. I'll go find Tadpole then, and we'll all go talk to the town leadership.
Yes, but other than that, we've completely abandoned the camp now. We've brought everything back over, so we're staying here in the city. We're just outside of the city, actually.
So I assume I was not able to get a long rest?
Correct. If you wake up and come down to talk, you do not.
Go away!
Well, presumably, I'm assuming we're going to take a long rest anyways, right? Grim?
That's up to you guys.
So, yeah, Tadpole is like,
I'm tired. I'm hurt. Go away.
There's 10 goldens for you.
Okay, I'll be right there.
Very clear motivation.
I give you the 10 gold as we get downstairs.
All right, but this doesn't mean I can't go back and take another rest.
Oh, you can do it
Before we
later.
head back out.
Yeah. We're
All
probably
right.
staying the day. It's morning now.
All right.
Oop. On to the fun table. Is Alas back yet?
No. He is not back. It's still several days' journey to the city and back.
Ew, some fucking horses.
Okay, so what's the plan?
I show you the revised map as we're coming down. We're just talking about the situation with the tunnels being closer to the city, and about how those things chased us all the way back because they overwhelmed us and we had to flee.
Okay, hold on a second. Give me your shirt. You got a tear. I'll start mending his shirt while we're walking.
All right. So you approach them. Ah, well, here we have the heroes of the hour. Well done, you lot. Well done. You showed those things what for. That's sure enough.
Clan Tadpole comes through again.
Indeed. A great threat in my behind.
I'd hate to squash the celebrations and all. That really wasn't a victory. Tadpole, Rust, all of us got Tadpole, Rick got on and also got pretty injured. They chased us straight from the hive. We've been running for miles back here. If they're as fast as the horses, they kept on our tail.
Well, perhaps, but you gave them quite the drubbing. We all saw it. It was quite the show.
That was just the 4 that could keep up. There was at least 20 just as big we ran away from, and while mapping the tunnels, I take the map out, I, dramatically and put it on the table so they could all see the tunnels. We were mapping the tunnels around. They caught wind of us eventually. We had a few run-ins with them.
That many? And this close?
The older ones seeming to be further up north where, our people originally camped. We found them out, from exploration. All the newer ones, the much more fresh dirt, much more moisture in them, and a lot more traveled prints in them too. We caught a few patrols while we were scouting them out. Well, Tadpole was at least.
Right. I see. Well, this is good information. Does this change anything?
I'd say we should definitely watch the north of us, because as in the wonderful notes that you've given Joel, we were able to classify a few of them. We haven't seen the Queen yet. God knows how big that thing is. There's a lot of the hatchlings, so to speak. They're not that strong. If you get a good few hits in, they'll go down easily enough, but there's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say where your trained guards could probably take them toe to toe, but they outnumber us at least 3-1 with the sheer numbers. Above that, the adult crew thick, they're like one of us could take them each. They're a pretty hard fight. The High Lords that chased us back, who I guess we got too close to the Queen or something. Maybe they have our tail now. The High Lords that we got wrecked up fighting them. Not to mention we had to run from several adults and the swarm of younglings after us. They couldn't keep up. Blew all my magic trying to take those down. Rick and Tadpole almost died. I'd say if any of those get in the city, you should just run away from them. The guards would get slaughtered. The militia wouldn't be just like paper.
That bad.
I think an adult would be worth a squad of guards.
I wonder. Quick question: the wall. Have they built like something that you can stand on top of the wall without being attacked by the wall?
No.
Okay, so there's no. Okay, how about guard towers behind the wall that go up above the wall?
A few, but pretty sporadic. They have some severe overconfidence in this wall.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering if there's a way to drive the creatures into the wall.
Hold on, just 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
Honey, I'm playing.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a way to drive the creatures into the wall.
We're not making a map right now.
The younger ones aren't that smart, realistically, out of character. The Hive Lords
so you can
have average intelligence. They're as smart as a commoner. They have like average. The adults are like a stupid barbarian kind of thing. No offense to Rick. Rick, what is your intelligence?
Honey, I can't.
So with
You
put VTOP on.
Sounds pretty low at the moment to me.
What is it?
It's at 12.
Oh, you're good. You're above average.
I'm not one of those typical barbarians.
10 is average, which the crew thick High Lords have. Everything else is more dumber than that. We could maybe drive the younglings into them if they don't, but they're all hive linked, so presumably the smarter ones would realize at some point. That's the other issue. If one of them knows about us, they all know about us because they're all linked. Hive minds suck. But we're talking if we could drive them into the wall. Grim is basically what Tadpole started mentioning to the group.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have no doubts that the wall could take care of these things. No offense to yourselves, of course, but you know, a giant wall, it's hard to compare the two. But I suppose it's a matter of getting them close enough. And as you can see and heard, we've had a little difficulties with the walls lately. Of course, I mentioned to you before about pieces of it breaking off, and disturbances happening with it.
Who knows the most about the wall? Who's in charge of all the amulets and stuff you use to manipulate it?
Alas.
Of course, he's gone. Who would know the next after him?
Eckert speaks up. He says, I would, likely. We deal with it the most in our... Well, I wouldn't say day to day, but we deal with them the most.
And are these things that were created, or are they kind of like heirlooms of sorts?
They sort of share a furtive glance. And they're heirlooms, really.
So they're old and mysterious, and we can't really. Okay.
Is there anybody that can create an illusion around here? A major illusion?
We don't have much in the way of magic casters.
We could try moving the sheep close to the walls, but we'd have to wait for them to actually, get here, and who knows when and how that will happen.
Yeah, I was wondering if we could make an illusion of people or something like that standing next to the wall. But that wouldn't work, so... maybe we just took this plan A, which is, maybe build a couple more towers that people can shoot arrows from. Or from over the wall, from behind the wall.
That sounds pretty smart.
Well, get on it, man.
I don't suppose any of you would have a pearl about EA Big that's authentic. If I can find more about the heirlooms you use, maybe I could, since I am a more experienced arcane practitioner, maybe we could try to, see. Well, first off, I don't know how they work, but we could maybe see how we could make it a bit easier to manipulate the wall, so to speak.
We could probably scrounge one up.
I want that program. Give me the fucking pearl. But I can look into those to see how we can better, shape the wall up, so to speak. Would Elas have any notes on the functions and stuff of this? I know he had some archives for the crew thick and stuff.
We could probably go through it. We could get someone from the temple too. Presumably there's something about it. To be honest, when it was passed down to me, it was told to me in a secret. I've never seen notes on it or anything of the such. But surely it's written down somewhere.
Hopefully. I'm all for cultural traditions and all that stuff, but you think you'd have some decent documentation on the thing that could kill you all if it weren't bad.
Well, I mean, the best I can tell you right now is that using the thing is like a game of tug of war. It's constantly pulling, and you have to constantly pull and push as well. A physical thing, you understand, not thinking, but actually pulling, as it were.
But I suppose we'll rest here. If you can procure the pearl and the notes, I just probably need to examine the amulet in best condition, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can start from there. In the meantime, gather some of the trees, presumably from the southern forests. Let's start building some towers we can shoot from.
All right, we can do that.
Go ahead.
Shouldn't be too long before the rest of our patrols are in as well.
Let's see if anything happened to them.
They've been checking in for a while, but for the most part there hasn't been anything that they've seen, whether it be tunnels or signs of these beasts or anything like that. It seems you hold the monopoly on them almost.
Well, the issue with that is, that worries me, is I point to the map again, these fresher tunnels here,
Mm-hmm.
They were, you can't really tell underground until you get to kind of the slope going, but they were going deeper than the ones we saw before. It was only a slight incline, but a slight incline over a mile is still a decent distance down.
I see.
So if we can't see any of the mounds, they must be much deeper close to the city. We don't know how close they are. Let's hope they decide to go a different direction first. I don't think they can sense us that far below, but they have a direction now. They're all linked to those high roads who are at the front door.
Right. All right, but you all, well, look at you. You need a rest. Why don't you
I concur.
take the rest of the day off, and
Sounds good. I'm gone.
we'll see about... all right. We'll see about striking back up at the night. By then we should have all information, and hopefully we'll have this pearl for you, and we can take a look at it.
If not, I could take a longer time to identify it. The pearl is just the easiest and most efficient way.
Of course. All right, well, do you have anything else for us?
Let's see. Tunnel is closed. Maps.
Janeon
things
says,
attack.
build more towers.
Yeah, that too.
Right.
Oh,
We'll get to work on the
that
towers.
note. Their legs, they have a bit of a, I don't know what you say, more of a kind of straight, narrow, piercing type thing. They have, say, pincers, but the other legs are kind of like sharp, kind of knives, so kind of spears. You know what? Like they don't have feet or any kind of hoofs or anything.
All right.
They're on, like you see an ant or something, but bigger, armored, and can tear through flesh. They don't seem to care about terrain. I threw a lot of caltrops behind me, and they just walked right through them. So I'd focus more on killing than obstacles at this point, unless it's something like, large barricades could maybe slow them down.
They probably can't climb, right?
I mean, they burrow, but they mostly just move dirt from what we've seen.
Right. It's a bit odd, though. Those things moving dirt, if they don't have but stabbing legs, as it were?
Where they have the giant... I mean, let's be honest, you have those hyena things, you have the blink rabbits that teleport around. I don't think moving dirt with some sort of pre-natural ability is that unusual than teleporting rabbits.
Fair enough. Alright, well, I think we're good for now. How about you all get some rest, and we'll wake you back up either this night or tomorrow morning? You look to be in pretty bad shape.
That is quite an ordeal. Let me know as soon as you get the pearl. At least if you require one, I can look into that and at least have some idea while I rest.
Alright.
I will see you all later then.
We can do that.
Let's hope nothing bad happens while we rest. Hope all the patrols make it back okay. Especially after we got chased. Who knows what they're doing now.
Alright, so what we are going to do is I think we are going to go ahead and cut the episode a little bit short by an hour. We got through most of what I planned.
You could just do some downtime, like building kind of stuff, if there's no big battles happening. Some management, some SimCity management. Sims.
We could. I don't... Like, I
don't
have my
play.
own plan for what they're doing, but, you know...
That's fine then. I just want to play SimCities, apparently.
Yeah. Alright, so any objections to that, or are we all
Nope.
good?
I'm good.
Okay.
We're good.
Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and end the session. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate the couple of you who have been lurking and hanging out.
You have lurkers?
A couple, one or two people have joined on and off. So, hey, thanks for coming out. I hope you all have a great day, no matter where you are, and peace out.